my fellow comic book collectors, it's on the Comic Collector Geek, and these are the hottest Golden Age comics for the week. First one on the list, number 10 on the list, is Babe number 6. This is from Prize Publications, 1949. It is a Booty Rogers cover, and he also did the interior art and story writing. Booty Rogers was kind of a redneck, and he wanted to put that into the story, and he was kind of poking fun at, the rednecks, and he basically created a character, Babe, who's this very strong girl who, plays baseball, boxes, and even does football, and she's always like overpowering the men. It's just like she's like this powerful girl. And in this case, she's fighting against the Atlanteans, and she is holding a mermaid on the cover. It's just a fun book, fun series actually. Now this one was a 5.0 that sold for $76. Now that is a steal because though it's the only sale in this grade, so it is a record, but a 5.5 had just sold in 2018 for $150, and a 6.5 sold just last year in February for $225, which would put the price per point for a 5.0 to being around $173. So this is actually way below what you would have expected this one to sell for, and it was a bit of a steal for this book. Definitely a great pickup, whoever got it. There's only 6 of these on the census, and 6 are universal. So whoever got it, congrats, great pickup. Number 9 on the list is Frontline Combat number 4. This is from EC Comics 1952. It's a Harvey Kurtzman cover, and it was one with a bazooka cover, which is always cool, but it's also a Seduction of the Innocent book. So Frederick Wortham, who wrote The Seduction of the Innocent and led to actually the Comic Code Authority and really the downfall of the Golden Age, put this book in The Seduction of the Innocent because the publisher used a pseudonym. And he felt that when publishers use pseudonyms, then they are, masking their intentions, or they're trying to get away with putting out objectionable material without taking responsibility for that material. So he used this one, he cited this one as that. Very silly reason, but that's Wortham. This was a 5.5 that sold, and it sold for $101.22. Now, the previous record for this book was set back in April of 2024, so just a few months ago, for $180. And there was a sale in December of 2022 for $145. So this is down quite a lot from those previous sales. And again, somebody got a good price on it. But this book was kind of on a downward trend. As I said, it not on a downward trend. It was it just somebody got a good deal on this one. It was at auction, and somebody just bid at the last minute and got it for a steal, I guess. So 2 steals in a row. There are 51 of these on the census, and 51 of them are universal blue labels. To get a SOD book for $100 graded, it's a pretty good deal. Number 8 on the list is Adventures into Terror number 22. This is from Atlas Comics 1953. It's a Carl Burgos cover, and Burgos cover, and it features Stan Lee's stories inside, and it's a really cool cover where you get this guy and he's like, his eyes are like wide open, and the title is I Can't Close My Eyes. It's just a really creepy cover, kind of cool, and it's actually a coded book from the Golden Age. So before the Comic Code Authority came in play, there was actually an earlier code, and this is one of the books that had it. Problem with the earlier code was the comic companies really didn't take it seriously, and it didn't really have much teeth with it. So basically, it just fell apart, and after a while, they gave up on it. But this book actually has it. So this was a 5.0 that sold. for $252.49. It is the only sale in this grade, but again, was a bit of a steal because there was a 4.5 that sold in August of 2022 for $365. So this is down from even the 4.5 sale, over $100. So again, not a good, not a good, not a good price for the seller. There's 31 of these on the census, and 30 of them are universal blue labels. Number 7 on the list is 4-color number 16. This is from Dell, 1941. It's a Chaz Craig cover, and it is the first Porky Pig solo story. So this is like a solo issue. It's devoted to Porky Pig. And it's also his first titled comic. So kind of a major one if you're a Porky the Pig collector. So kind of a cool character. Now this was a 5.5 that sold, and it sold for $550. Now the previous record for this book was set back in January of 2024 for $420. And there was even a 6.5 that sold in May of 2024, so just a few months ago, for $450. So this one just blew those ones away. Somebody kind of overpaid, I think, on this one. Probably it should have been around that $400 mark, but this was, somebody paid up, wanted it, I guess. So $550. There's 35 of these on the census, and 33 of them are universal blue labels. Number 6 on the list is Fight Comics number 30. This is from Fiction House, 1944. It is a Joe Doolin cover, from what I can tell. They don't really specifically say. I checked the comics database for this. It is a crazy cover though, because you got this girl, and she's basically, if you look at the cover, the branch is basically bent, holding the girl in place. Like kind of, she's holding the branch back with her body because she's bound to the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree. So there's a Japanese soldier, and he's ready to cut it, and it's basically going to fling the girl. I don't know what's going to happen. She's going to just fling away. But he gets shot in the stomach. So it's like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening on the cover. Very cool cover. And this was a 5.0 that sold, and it sold for $749.95. So we'll say $750. Now, this is actually down. Even though this was a buy it now on eBay, this is down because the previous record for this book was set back in October of 2022 for $793.22. And there was actually a 6.5 that sold in July of 2021 for $2,280. So this is way down from those other sales. And there was even a 4.5 that sold in May of this year for $960. It was even down from that. So I think somebody listed this just too affordably, I guess. I don't know. Somebody just wanted to sell it, and somebody got a great deal on it. So far the prices haven't been very strong. Like kind of a lot of people getting steals, or somebody getting a deal because they listed this one very affordably. There's only 30 of these on the census, and 30 of them are universal blue labels. Number 5 on the list is Captain America number 64. This is from Timely, 1947. It's a Sid Shores cover, and it's a Good Girl art cover. Just an interesting one. She's looking at her cameo, or the cosmetic and case, mirror, and inside you see Captain America and Bucky, but in the background you see this weird weird king-like character. He's got like a crown, and he just looks really weird. It's such a weird character on the cover. Now this was a 3.0 that sold, and it sold for $1,178.99. Now the previous record sale for this book was set back in December of 2007. So this book hasn't sold for a long time in this grade. Back then, it sold for $597.50. So it's up a lot over that time period. However, there was a recent 4.5 that sold uh, in January of 2024 for $1,272. So based on that, actually, this book performed really well because you would have expected this one to sell for around $850. So for it to sell for almost $1,200 is a really strong sale for this book. These early timely books have been quite hot for a while now, and this one continues that trend. There are 56 of these on the census, and 42 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 4 on the list is Wonder Woman number 14. This is from DC Comics 1945. It is H.G. Peter cover, and it is the first appearance of the Gentleman Killer. It's a cool cover, actually. I really like this one. This was a 6.5 that sold, and it sold for $1,225. Now, the previous record for this book was set back in March of 2020 for $675. Now, this book had actually kind of dipped a bit because in 2021, it sold for $620. However, this book is one of those ones that you don't see that often for sale. It's a hard book to find. And generally, it's like one you got to kind of pay up for. So, it's, it's somebody paid up. Basically, they paid double of that 2021 sale. So, very, very strong sale for this book. It makes me feel a little bit better because I overpaid when I bought my copy, and my copy is a lower grade. And I thought, oh man, I'm really overpaying for this. But it's just one you just don't see. And so when people, the last sale is 2021. It just doesn't come up that often. So people pay up for it when it appears. Just a hard Wonder Woman to find. There are actually, though, 67 of these on the census, and 59 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 3 on the list is a Detective Comics number 137. This is from DC Comics 1948, and it is a Jim Mooney and Charles Paris cover. And it is an interesting one. You got Batman and Robin, plus it has this little equation, plus the Joker equals TNT. So it's equals explosion, right? Just a really interesting cover, Joker cover. Joker covers are usually very popular, and this book was an interesting one. This was a 6.0 that sold, and it sold for $1,332. Now this book is way down, way down. Its previous record was set back in December of 2018 for $2,300. So it's about $1,000 cheaper than its record. But even the last sale shows that this book was weakening because the last sale was set back in February of this year for $1,680. So it's just been going down, down, down. And now it's kind of at that lowest price for a long time it's been at this lower price. There are 76 of these on the census, and 68 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So a little bit of weakness in the Detective Comics there. Number 2 on the list is Human Torch number 12. This is from Timely 1943. It is an Alex Schomburg cover, and this one is insane. This is a great cover because you got woman in bondage. You got this Japanese soldier with a samurai sword just about to hack into her. And you get the Human Torch basically coming in and melting the guy's arm. His arm, you see the bone. It's just insane. Really crazy cover. And you got a whole bunch of Japanese soldiers around the bottom of it, and they're all pointing guns. It's just what a crazy cover. And that's typical Alex Schomburg. He just puts so much detail into these timely covers. Really great propaganda cover. This was a 0.5 that sold, and it sold for $1,402. And it's interesting one because it's a really ugly copy in a way, because it's almost a remainder copy because the top portion of it was removed. Not in the typical remainder copy style where they completely remove it, but just it looks like somebody tore it, and it also tore the first interior page as a result, which does impact the story. So this one was a pretty not a great looking copy. And I think that's maybe why it didn't sell for as much as it could have. Because the previous record was set back in July of 2020 for $1,800. And that was a really nice presenting 0.5. I mean, it's still a 0.5 is incomplete copy, right? But it really presented well, that $1,800 one. It was just missing page 2, which it impacted the story as well. But I think that aesthetic, people buy the book, not the, well, in this case, it's also the grade, but the presentation of the book really did impact the value of this book. So $1,400, even though it is down, it's probably a fair price. Now there was a 1/8, just to give you a sense of how expensive this book is, and it's really one of those ones that you just don't see that often as well. There was a 1/8 that sold for $3,360 in October of 2021. It actually had dropped. There was a recent sale in April of 2024 for a 1/8 that was $2,160. But still, in that you kind of expect this book to be, usually in those low grades, there's a lot of price compression. So you would expect this book to be around that $1,600 to $1,800 range, which is kind of in line with that previous sale. So this one, a little bit down, a little bit weak, but probably because of that presentation. Just even people can be picky with the 0.5s. It's like, if it doesn't present well, people generally don't pay as much for it. But it's still a cool cover. Actually, even with that tear, it presents like the image which you want to see is the Human Torch melting the guy's arm. It presents quite well. There are 77 of these on the census, and 66 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 1 on the list is Superman 24. This is from DC Comics 1943. It's a Jack Burnley cover, and it is one that I put on the list for a very specific reason. Just a couple days ago, it was July 4th, and this is a very July 4th kind of book. It is just a great, Superman, American flag cover, just a classic cover. And this one actually sold on July 5th, so the day after Independence Day. Maybe somebody was very inspired by Independence Day and decided, hey, I got to get this Superman 24. Because they actually paid up for it, because it was a 3.0 that sold, and it sold for $2,159.99. It's a 3.0, but it has a detached cover, which usually knocks the grade. Usually you don't get up to a 3.0 unless it really presents well. This one was kind of an interesting 3.0. But this is a new record for this book. The previous record for this book was set back in March of 2024 for $1,620. So I think the whole July 4th enthusiasm maybe made somebody eager to kind of a little bit overpay for this book, about almost $600 over the previous sale. So just a very cool book, and somebody got a nice classic flag cover. There are 600. There are 265 of these on the census, and 226 of them are Universal Blue Labels. And that's it. That's the list for this week. Really great stuff. Pretty interesting list in terms of a lot of books were down. What do you think about that? Do you think that there's a softening even in the Golden Age market? There were a few records, but there was a few soft sales. It was kind of a mixed bag. I'd like to hear your feedback. Are you finding that you're getting more deals lately? Are you finding more books are popping up? What do you think? Put it in the comments below. And also, on the way down to the comments, check out my Kickstarter, which is in the description. So this is one of the last days that you can potentially check out my Kickstarter, so please do so. If you're interested in Vixens of the Golden Age, well, I made a book about that, so check it out. Really great covers. A special cover might be dropping today, so check that out as well. It's really awesome, actually. Definitely check it out. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.